When we repeat an action, behavior, or thought enough times, it becomes ingrained in the subconscious mind and becomes an automated process. The brain is always looking for the path of least resistance as a means of energy conservation. Good habits can be difficult to build, but there are steps you can take to maximize your chances of building them. Let's also be clear on what a good habit is. A good habit is one that benefits you and the world, whilst also not creating any harm or damage to others. For example, you may have built habits that have helped you be quote-unquote successful or wealthy, but if this is at the expense and misery of others, then it's far from a good habit. So let's talk about how a habit forms. Science estimates that it takes approximately 2 months for a habit to develop. If you want to build a habit, for example, of meditating 5 times a week, at first you have to consciously put your effort into repeating the act for at least 2 months and remove any resistance in your mind. To remove resistance, you must make the environment conducive to the habit. For example, people fall into the trap of meditating in their bed and wondering why they can't focus or fall asleep easily. When most of your time in bed is sleeping, isn't it obvious why your body takes over and produces a sleepy or dreamy state? You'll also notice if you reflect on your nightly routine, for example, going to the toilet, brushing your teeth, or having a shower, none of this really requires any thought, does it? You simply just do it. Your biggest obstacle always is going to be your own mind. All the excuses and negativities that fill your mind will eclipse your consciousness and give you all sorts of reasons not to meditate. Given that we have between 60 and 80,000 thoughts a day, most of them repetitious and negative, it can be an uphill battle dependent on how your mind is. If you have a life lived of being successful and achieving your goals, building a good habit is going to be easy. But if you're the opposite, building a habit can be next to impossible. You'll have all sorts of quote-unquote evidence in your mind as to why you can't, why you're a failure, something else you need to do, why it doesn't work. None of which is real. So you need a process for building a good habit. So now we'll get into the 7 steps for building a good habit. Step number 1, make your environment conducive to the habit. If you want to stop eating bad food, stop stocking your pantry with bad food. If you want to meditate once a day, put your phone on silent and find a place your body and mind can recognize as your meditation space. Step number 2, remove the resistance from your mind. All sorts of things are going to come up in your mind when you're trying to build a new habit. I can't do it. I'm a failure. I always give up. So what if I build this habit? I'm still going to be useless. Everyone's going to go through these same thought processes and ones that are similar to their own life that they have lived. But aren't we actually trying to change here? Why be enslaved to those thoughts? Learn to get rid of them from your mind. Learn to let go of them through meditation. You can actually discard those thoughts. Step number 3, consistency is the key. It's better to meditate for 10 minutes every day for 1,000 days than 1,000 minutes in one day. You need to build the consistency in your mind so it becomes ingrained in your subconscious. It's the same as brushing your teeth. Once you've done it so many times, it just becomes ingrained in your subconscious and it's an automated process. Step number 4, forget motivation. It's all about discipline. Do you think successful people feel like doing the things that they do every single day? Do you think the people who meditate every day feel like meditating every single day? Or people who go to the gym feel like going to the gym every single day? No, of course not. They do it despite how they feel. Don't fall into the trap of waiting to be motivated. You have to be disciplined. Discipline is far more important than motivation, and part of that discipline is the consistency. Step number 5. Ignore the time trap. Look, do this exercise. If you are someone who's always making the excuse of time, then start recording your day, hour by hour, and actually see objectively how you use your time. Show your mind exactly how much time you have and see if you can adjust your days. You really have to take time for yourself if you want to build a good habit. You deserve to build a good habit, so take time for yourself. Don't fall into the traps of your mind, time trap being one of them. Step number 6, build one habit at a time. If you want to change your whole life, do it one step at a time, one day at a time. Just live today. Plan your progress as best as you can, and then tackle your habits one at a time. Bad habits can tend to compound with other bad habits, so keep it simple until you build momentum. The famous saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, really applies here. If you want to build the habits, just do them one at a time. Don't try and transform your entire life in one day. Build it one at a time. Step number 7, learn from the experts. Surround yourself with the right people in the right environment to build the habits you want. For example, if you want to learn to meditate, you should go to the place that teaches it and to the people who are the experts in it.